Hey everybody, this is Landys with Lexi. This is part 2 to my video. In this video, I am going to explain, kind of discuss why I wasn't so keen on the other regional airline that I had gotten hired onto, which is operated under United. And then I apologize in advance as well. I'm reading through my notes on my iPad here. Just to make sure I keep my notes and thoughts in order. So, just gonna let's just kind of hop right on into it. The process was really quick, and to say that you can't trust the quick process, I don't necessarily believe that to be true. But the process was just so quick that it just something seemed off to me. Like, have you ever gotten something that was too easy to get and you're like, should I question why it was this easy to get? Maybe that's just my personality. Maybe I'm just skeptical. I don't know. But anything that just kind of falls into your lap, more or less, is not always necessarily worth having. That's just how I see it. Yeah, so once I get my paperwork and my email, of course, once they offer me the CGL, I get my paperwork and my email about everything that needs to be done. And at this stage, I am learning so quickly that there are so many hoops to jump through. This form needs to be printed and filled out by hand. This one needs to be filled out digitally. This form, that form. There are so many forms. And I could not figure out why I couldn't just either print them all out or do them all digitally. There were just a lot of hoops to jump through at just the beginning stage. And I constantly had to upload multiple forms because they do they have you do your background check on like this website. So you fill out all your places that you worked, this, that, and the third. And literally every 5 or 6 hours, I would get an email, excuse me, about what I needed to upload. Upload this form for that job. Upload this, upload that. And I'm like, okay, this is starting to get a little old. And then I had to drive across town to get my fingerprints. And then what really got me, like what was really concerning me from the very beginning, was all the things they said we had to remember prior to the first day of work. And it was concerning to me because you have this huge expectation that, in my opinion, is really opening the door for failure. And I'm the type of person, I don't like being or feeling like I'm being set up to fail. And that's how I felt. We have to remember 3 or 4 huge public announcements, multiple airport codes, general flight attendant terms and vocab, abbreviations. All this by the first day, and failure to do so was grounds for dismissal. I was not okay with that. You cannot more or less set people up to fail and then punish them when they do exactly what you set them up to do. That's what I was not here for, because I'm not really sure what airline honestly has people memorizing announcements. That doesn't make sense to me. If there is an airline out there like that, God bless the people that work for them. But I was like, that's going to be a no-go. That just is too much. And excuse me. And then another thing, they operate like commuter planes. So 50 passengers max. And I was like, I'm not really necessarily a fan of small planes. They're cramped, they're uncomfortable. And obviously, the smaller the plane, the shorter the flight. So I'm not sure how I would have made money with this airline, given the fact that I could probably have like a 15-minute flight, a 20-minute flight, 30-minute flight. And that just seemed off to me. And I don't know how many legs in the course of a day I would have had to have done to make a decent amount of money per day. But it's just, the numbers were not adding up to me. I accepted this position, though, simply because I was still waiting on my mainline airline to get back to me. So it was a backup for me, I'll be honest. My heart wasn't really in this airline. But I needed something. I guess more or less I needed a fallback. And no international flying. So just the ability to really take advantage of what this career has to offer was not offered to me in this airline. And in my opinion, just the upfront demand in terms of everything that was needed and everything that we had to memorize just was not worth the crappy ass pay that they were offering me. Now, $9 to $10 more an hour, fine. But when they quoted me what they quoted me, I'm like, you want all this for that amount of money? That just doesn't make sense to me. You're wanting way too much, and I'm getting far too little out of this interaction. So the mainline airline, though, came right on time because I really, really needed it. Because I may have had to have passed on this one because I don't think it was going to be a good fit. Ironically, though, I got the mainline airline that this regional was operated under. I'm cool with that. But, you definitely have to make sure that the airline is a good fit. So for me, in my situation, I may have taken that this job here, but my advice, though, of course, in hindsight, is don't just take things because you want to work in the field. Your happiness is number one, and if working this job is not going to get you to your goal of happiness, then don't take it. Sometimes it is worth the wait. And if I had maybe a little more faith in myself, I would have just told them that it wasn't going to work out and then just waited for the mainline airline. But I didn't have very much faith in myself for the process. But that's, of course, after multiple attempts and a lot of rejections. But that is kind of my, that's just kind of how things went for me. Definitely, it may be different for you. Some people enjoy the smaller planes. It's just my personal preference. I prefer a larger plane. Plus, I prefer to work with other people. These small planes, you're the only flight attendant on it. So, you don't really get the chance to work with other people. And that, to me, is disheartening. In a field like this that thrives and is built on connections and interactions, now you have to work by yourself. It just wasn't going to work for me. But for some of you guys, if this is what you if this is right up your alley, then definitely go for it. You can message me and I'll be more than happy to tell you the airline. It just wasn't going to work for me, though. Thank you guys for listening. This has been Ladies with Lexi. You guys have a wonderful day and stay safe out there.